me feel like it make you go and get some.
And I pray that our egos does not like separate it, or the internet, or guys, or like nothing. You get what I'm trying to say? Like nothing. I hope.
Do you worry? Do you worry about that a little bit?
Sometimes I be on my shit. Sometimes she be on her shit. You know, like
you're human.
We're human. We're women. We're not girls. We're women. Like sometimes I want to be with my man.
Now, if you've been keeping up with the City Girls, then you know they've been secretly coming for each other for a hot little minute now. JT even threw some shade at Young Miami in her last 2 singles, and Miami seemingly clapped back in her new single. But word on the street is, the reason why Miami is really mad is because she's pressed about the success that JT is receiving on her solo projects. While she is flopping miserably, her talk show got canceled, Diddy dumped her and left the country, and her music career is in shambles. She has nothing going for herself now, while JT is flourishing. Now, if you're a City Girl fan, then you know Young Miami is a hot mess right now, and the streets are even saying she broke. Her major source of income was those $500,000 monthly allowances she was getting from Diddy, but ever since he got exposed, all that went down the drain. She's barely making money from her music career because the City Girls have not been able to push out a hit in years, and Kreations Please has been canceled. So now she's online trying to sell varsity jackets to try and make some money for herself. In fact, one of Miami's best friends told Media Takeout a couple weeks ago that Diddy was cutting down on some expenses because he was struggling, and one of his biggest expenses is Young Miami. According to Miami's friend, Diddy had been paying for private flights, shopping sprees, and rent on a luxury Miami penthouse. She said Diddy is no longer paying Young Miami's bills. Diddy still bought her a Christmas gift, but he's not as generous as he once was.
YouTube Premium is ad-free YouTube and background play, so you can watch videos.
Her a Christmas gift, but he's not as generous as he once was. He's not paying her rent or giving her money anymore, and he told her not to expect anything from him in the future. Now, before we get into all the messy details of this drama, let me give y'all a little rundown as to why things got this bad anyway. Cause like I said before, this feud has been brewing for a while now, and all the real fans of the City Girls been seeing it coming. Now, when this feud started, a whole lot of people were in denial because of how close Kreations and JT are. I mean, Miami held the group down while JT was in jail for identity theft. Miami was out here performing on stage almost every other night while she was heavily pregnant, and even stacking up some cash for JT so she would have a little something when she got out. And when JT finally did get out of jail, she thanked Young Miami for holding her down, and they jumped right back into working. They released 2 albums together, featured in multiple songs, and got covers of magazines. They even got several endorsement deals. I mean, they were really out here living their best life getting that bag. However, things started to take a shift a couple months ago, and at first, people thought it was just because they were occupied in their own relationships. JT was rocking with Uzi real hard, and Miami had her situationship with Diddy, as well as Kreations Please. But when people started to quickly notice that there was some tension between the two of them, JT put up an IG post calling Miami out for switching up on her. She said, "Watching somebody change on you and they pretend to be completely unaware of what they're doing, really the worst feeling ever. But the best thing about retreated betrayal is you get stronger." People also noticed that shortly after this, JT unfollowed the City Girls Instagram page. People also called Miami out for never showing JT any love on social media and barely ever defending JT anytime she got into it with somebody, even though JT always supports her. Like, do y'all remember that messy fight between Cardi and JT a couple months ago? When Cardi called JT Nicki Minaj's lapdog, Cardi and her fans were really going in on JT, and Miami was dead silent. She watched Cardi and her fans bully the hell out of JT. She later came back and said she was asleep, but folks was not buying that. Now, mind you, JT had no problem stepping up for Miami just a few weeks prior when Miami had gotten into it with Diddy's side piece, Gina Hunn. After this mess, fans noticed a real shift in their relationship. JT started to move by her herself and even started teasing some solo music. People had alleged that JT had got tired of Miami being a fake friend to her and decided to leave the group. JT fueled these rumors even more when she revealed in an interview with Angie Martinez that she and Miami had been having some issues, but she hopes that their ego, the internet, or the men in their lives don't cause them to break up.
And I pray that our egos does not like separate it, or the internet, or guys, or like nothing. You get what I'm trying to say? Like nothing.
Do you worry about that? A little bit.
Sometimes I be on my shit. Sometimes she be on her shit. You know, like
you're human.
We're human. We're women. We're not girls. We're women. Like sometimes I want to be with my men.
JT followed this up by announcing her solo EP during her cover story with Interview Magazine, where she said she was no longer interested in being in a group and ready to make money moves by herself. JT went on to release her debut single, No Bars, in which she seemingly threw some shade at Miami's relationship with Diddy. She rapped, "I'm a real big dog, B. You just a scrappy dude, doing all that wifey shit, knowing he don't F with you." Now, even though JT was clearly being messy, Miami didn't actually reply to this, and she kept it pushing. That was until JT threw some more shade at her and a new song, Sideways. She called Miami out for ditching her and becoming best friends with Ari Fletcher. Now, for those of y'all who don't know, Ari and Miami have been cutting up for a couple months now after Miami and JT stopped hanging out. Ari even made an appearance on Carisha Please, and she was recently with Miami at a Las Vegas party for her birthday. So as y'all can see, Miami has pretty much replaced JT with Ari, and she has no shame about it at all. While JT, on the other hand, is not here for this little link up, and she made that very clear in the song. She said, "B, I ain't friendly. I don't F with y'all girls. Try to take who? It ain't enough of y'all girls. Girls so phony, got me looking at them sideways. It'll never be the same, mother the old days. B, I'm up now. Give a F what you think." One person said, "You must was talking about Young Miami when you said it'll never be the same, F the old days." Another person said, "Is this a Carisha diss? You know you acting funny." Now you would think Miami would also join in on congratulating JT, or at least post the song, but she didn't. A lot of people feel like Miami is jealous about the success that JT is getting from her solo career, and that's probably one of the reasons they're into it right now. I mean, JT's music has been trending all over TikTok. Her new single is predicted to chart on Billboard, and she's been pretty involved in getting invited to fashion events in Europe and covering a lot of magazines. Miami, on the other hand, lost her talk show, got dumped by Diddy, and her career's in the gutter. Miami fueled the allegations about her being jealous of JT when she had started promoting the start of her solo career the exact same day that JT dropped her new song. Like, you cannot make this up. She was trying to ride JT's wave to promote her own solo music. Child, the City Girls are at war, and it is not gonna be long before things get even more nasty and they unfollow each other on IG. Now, as usual, people have their own thoughts about this. One person said, "Carisha always being shady toward JT. I'm surprised nobody would catch it because a lot of the interviews would be tension on Carisha's side, and then there's JT being the light of energy and brushing it off and trying to make Carisha feel included. It's giving hating, and she knows she mad because people really support JT for real, and she knows it." Another person said, "JT has supported Miami even when Miami was focusing more on Diddy and what he could do for her. She simply figured out what everybody else knows, and that's Miami isn't thinking about her. Good for JT." But now I want to know your thoughts. What do y'all think about Miami being salty about JT's success in her solo career? And do y'all think Miami is really trying to replace her friendship with JT with Ari?
Me, have you hit rock bottom? I can tell you what it feel like.